Welcome to Alloy Day 69. I'm Shion Costello, and I'm doing more work with prepared piano experiments on beats in music. Today I'm going to keep going with Earl Sweatshirt Live, Laugh, Love album, and in particular I'm going to try to make the 3 tracks that I've done so far, the last 3 tracks of the album, into a set and figure out logistics for setting up and changing details in the setup in terms of technology, that the prepared piano stuff I'm doing, so that it could logically work as a performance. All right, let's see how it goes. All right, so here's the bag of what I use. I want to figure out how many things are in common, what is not in common, what would be things I'd need to change in between tracks. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that as seamlessly as possible. It seems like the best order will be actually the track order, and just musically it makes sense too. TOURMALINE has the hi-hat and snare set up lowest and the bass drum set up lowest because the sample is in the tenor range. So that's as high as it goes, is E flat. And then the heavy metal actually is really interesting. It's chordal, has probably the most notes in terms of high and low notes, but there's no bass drum. So the bass drum doesn't have to be set up for that one, which is interesting. And then the last track, Exhaust, is probably the most busy in terms of like samples of this stuff. Those kinds of things. That would be a different set of hi-hats, which would be the highest out of all of them. So the hi-hats kind of go in order of lowest, in the middle, and then the highest. The bass drum is going to be moved from TOURMALINE to here. It doesn't have to move at all for heavy metal. Alright, here's the full setup for all 3 tracks, more or less, with a few changes along the way. It took about 5 minutes to do. The bass drum, which will move eventually to here, to the C. And these pencil grips are all the bass lines. Heavy metal. I have all 3 sets of hi-hats for TOURMALINE. And then here for heavy metal, here for exhaust. '69 Earl Sweatshirt, TOURMALINE, heavy metal, and exhaust. Something that I discovered along the way is how to sort of play bits and pieces of connecting tracks, connecting beats. It's kind of like a DJ, like kind of blending 2 tracks together, but playing that while doing the piano technology, the preparation stuff of changing where I put screws and pencil grips and stuff like that. So doing that while playing little bits of what you're about to hear or what you just heard. Also just, really connecting with the emotional content of the album as a whole, and the beats, and Earl Sweatshirt's raps, even though there's no vocals. It's all sort of, hidden underneath the surface. So I hope you enjoyed watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.